Use this black iron key to open the dungeon gate. That'll buy you another day in this monster-filled apocalypse. But while everyone fights like crazy for the key, I just threw the key and my bread into the furnace together. Everyone laughed, calling me an idiot. But what they didn't know is, this is actually the secret to surviving in this world. Just a while ago, a wave of sharp pain hit me. I snapped my eyes open. There was rough wood under me. Blood kept spilling from my mouth. My body was covered in gunshot and knife wounds. As a top international mercenary, my latest mission was in northern Myanmar. I was sent to rescue a high-level corporate executive. The rescue should have gone smoothly, but it turned into a trap set for me. I fought with everything I had to kill the traitor, but I was already seriously wounded. I forced myself to sit up and looked around, confused. It was a tiny wooden cabin, not even 10 square meters. Just one door and one window. I looked outside through the window. There was a small patch of barren land, about 30 square meters. At the edge of the land, there floated a glowing portal. Beyond the portal, there was nothing but pure void. I couldn't see anything else. Before I could look around more, a new wave of pain made me frown. I choked on the blood in my mouth. It felt like I was dying. But right then, a deep, booming voice rang out in the minds of me and billions all over the world. At the exact same time, deployment of 8 billion people on Azure Star complete. Individual functions reset to default status. Welcome to the infinite survival world, Forge of Realms. Please note the following rules. They're the key to your survival. Next, a blue panel popped up. The rules showed up one by one. First, your shelter is everything for survival. Treasure it, and keep upgrading it. Tip: there are different types of shelters. Second, if you go over 100 meters from your shelter, you'll be erased instantly. If your shelter gets totally destroyed, the owner dies too instantly.
Third,
The Forge of Realms is made of countless shattered world instances. Enter dungeons through portals to explore. New dungeons appear every week. It's the only way to get any resources. Remember to keep an eye on the evacuation timer. Fourth Hell battlefields show up at random times. All shelters will be sent in together to withstand monster waves. Survive to get scores and win rewards. Global survival system is activated. Survivors of Azure Star, keep struggling. When the announcement ended, the world fell silent again. Like those messages were just a dream. But I knew it was all real, because my body actually started healing up fast. Until I was perfectly healthy. I clenched my fists, felt stronger than ever. I focused my mind, and a pale blue menu popped up in front of me. At the top were a few sections: World Chat, Area Chat, Market, Profile, Shelter. I tapped the World Chat first. Messages flooded the screen instantly. Fuck, I was at Antarctica's research station. How did I end up in this dump of a cabin? My shelter is a legit fortress. Starting durability, 500. You wood-dwelling losers are gonna get shredded by monsters. What's with the bragging? Mine's an elemental spire. Comes with fire elemental affinity. Anyone who gets close burns. Did you open your starter chest yet? I got a black iron fire axe and a piece of bread. Gotta say, that makes me feel safer. I skimmed through fast, ignoring all the pointless ranting, just hunting for key info. Special shelter types, starter chests, black iron items. I remembered the announcement mentioned that too. So I closed out of the noisy world chat. Then I noticed the system menu had a tiny tip icon. I clicked it. Yup, it was the same rules they announced at first. Besides those, there was an explanation about item ranks. They go from black iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, star, radiance, moon, sun, and enemy, making 9 in total. 9 distinct levels. Then I opened the shelter panel. A row of clear info popped up. Shelter, Infinity Cabin, Special Rank, Durability 100, Defense Level 100. Energy storage not active. Install an energy module to activate. Installed modules, none. Upgrade conditions not met. Blueprints not unlocked. Shelter not yet bound. Bind Infinity Cabin now? My eyes widened a bit. A grin slipped across my face. Turns out I've actually got a special shelter. I bound it right away. The instant I did, a hexagonal crystal shot out of the cabin, and then jumped into my body. Next, a purple-black cube, like a limitless magic cube, came out of my chest. Infinity cube. All my focus zeroed in on the black cube. When my fingertip touched the cold surface, a rush of info flooded my mind. A brand new interface opened in my head. Infinity cube. One of a kind. Truly unique. Level 1. 0 out of 100. 2 crafting slots. Rules. 1. Cube level must be L. Items can be crafted up to L+1. 2. Item crafting follows matter reshaping and energy shift. Just put in materials to try. 3. Crafting takes time. You can inject energy to speed it up. 4. Within the rules, everything can be crafted. Craft anything. That's one insane feature. That means, as long as I have the materials, I can make whatever I want. With that, all those special shelters are nothing, because I could make one myself if I get the materials. I took a deep breath and started analyzing. The limits are clear. 2 crafting slots. Level 1 cube can build up to level 2, which is bronze gear, but the potential is unlimited. Just need to level up the cube. Then I'll be able to make even higher grade gear. That's the goal. 5 features. I'll pause here for now. I'm excited, but there are other menus to check out. Picked a random one. Profile. Name. Jiangshuo rank. None. Stats. Strength 7. Constitution 8. Agility 6. Intelligence 8.
Human Azure Star.
For this world, I'm already way above average combat-wise. Skills. None. Bloodline. None. Gear. None. Titles. None. Power rating. At peak human health. Right then. That deep voice spoke again, this time just to me. Survivor Jiang Shuo has completed world understanding. First survival package mailed. Right after that, a black chest landed with a thud, right on the floor by my feet. Without hesitation, I stepped up and opened it. Inside the box are 3 slices of dark bread, 3 bottles of water, a waterlogged wooden broken pistol, a gold glowing red or a black iron key with a white glow. Dark bread +3, pure water +3, black iron level waterlogged wooden broken pistol. If I'm lucky, maybe it can be triggered. Gain 1 black iron level material. Red cloud refined iron +1. Level 1 dungeon key, black iron level +1. Just as expected. All items are black iron level. I might be even more unlucky, even though the weapon is a firearm. Checking the description. Most likely it can't shoot. Forget about shooting. Taking this into the dungeon or not makes no difference. I ignored the food and water, grabbed the waterlogged wooden broken pistol, and the red cloud refined iron. With a single thought, 2 fusion slots on the magic cube glowed faintly. I put the pistol into the left light slot, the red cloud refined iron into the right light slot. Shadows of the materials appear in both fusion slots. In the center of the interface, the once gray fusion button now lights up. My thoughts race. 2 black iron level materials. At best, they'll produce a bronze level item. I don't hesitate anymore. I focus my mind. Press that button. Begin fusion. The material shadows instantly break down, turning into 2 streams of matter. Spinning, colliding, and restructuring in the interface center. A brand new item's outline slowly forms in bronze-colored light. Estimated remaining synthesis time, 5 minutes. A countdown appears below the progress bar. 5 minutes isn't long. I can totally wait. For me, it's great time to gather intel. I open the area channel. Compared to the world channel, with info refreshing too fast and pointless, the area channel offers much more valuable intel. Zona 0086. 99,999,100,001 less person since the start. Someone already died so fast. Survivors keep talking non-stop in the channel. Info is way more useful. Did anyone get a dungeon key? Mine's black. I'm scared to use it, but I have one too. But my weapon is just a black iron level knife from a loot box. Just looks like a kitchen knife. Isn't that suicide going in? What's there to fear? Risk brings wealth. I got a black iron level longsword at the start thanks to a food box. If I don't fight now, I might starve. Guys, I'll scout ahead. I'll return loaded with loot. A guy named Food Box Swordsman spoke tough. After that message,
His avatar never lit up again.
At first, no one noticed.
10 minutes passed.
20 minutes passed. The number of people in the area channel's top right corner quietly dropped again. 99,998,100,000. Another one died. The channel goes silent. All the lively chatter suddenly vanished. What happened to the food box swordsman? Why no reply? No way, food box started with a black iron sword. He died so quickly. What kind of dungeon is this? Is it really this scary? Or maybe, once you enter the dungeon, you can't message the channel anymore? That guess brought a bit of hope, but reality is harsher. 99,993,100,000. The number drops again. 5 people disappeared at once this time. The decrease makes survivors nervous. But I stay unfazed. You can't talk to the outside in the dungeon. Mortality rate is high. That's normal. If it was just basic resource gathering, it wouldn't be called a purgatory battleground preview. Gotta remember, the system rules clearly say, purgatory battleground means facing monster waves. Just then, the magic cube vibrated slightly. Fusion complete. Congrats, you got bronze gear. Withered wood tactical desert eagle. Bronze light flashes. This weapon is super familiar to me, lying quietly in the results slot. A desert eagle, but not the usual shiny silver look. Instead, its outside looks wooden, but it feels totally metallic in my grip. I reach in and pick it up from the light screen. It feels heavy in my palm. Overall shows a dark tone, finely engraved patterns over its surface. The texture is excellent. Withered wood tactical desert eagle. Bronze level LV2 effect, +1 auto reload. Passive reload, 1 round per minute. Total bullets, 7. I run my hand over the desert eagle. Look it over left and right. Can't hold back my excitement. Now this is a real weapon, compared to the waterlogged wooden broken pistol from the starter pack. It's basically trash. Then I glanced at the area channel. Fear is spreading in the channel. I'm not going. I'd rather die than go. I'll just stay in my shelter. I'm not going anywhere. Gotta ration water and food. I'll survive. Dungeon equals death. I skim over these comments with indifferent eyes. These people are already eliminated. They're eliminated by their own fear. How much food is there? How many days max can you hold out? All that lies ahead is nothingness. If you want to live, you have to enter the dungeon. I stop paying attention to their whining. Turn to my leftover supplies. 3 slices of dark bread. 3 bottles of pure water. I didn't hesitate. Put 1 slice of dark bread and 1 bottle of water into the magic cube's fusion slot. Estimated synthesis time, 1 minute. Done. Congrats, you got consumable. High Energy Nutrition Gel X1. A test tube with light blue liquid appears before me. High Energy Nutrition Gel, consumable. Effect, after drinking. Totally refills all water needs for a day. Energy and basic nutrients too. And quickly restores a bit of stamina. Then I spent another 2 minutes. Fused the rest of my food and water. High Energy Nutrition Gel. 3 nutrition gels. Enough for 3 days of intense action. Weapons secured. Supplies secured. I stood up, walked to the portal. At the edge of the clearing shining faintly. From my storage. Took out the black iron key from the starter kit. I did think about fusing the key, but these materials don't seem compatible with the key. So I didn't hesitate, just used it. The key turned into a stream of light and sank into the portal ahead. The once faintly glowing portal suddenly burst into light. The scene inside twisted and changed. It finally turned into a swirling, ruined city street. At the same time, a cold system notification sounded. Dungeon now open. Dungeon mode. World gold grid scavenge and extraction. Stage 1. Abandoned commercial street. Participants, 10/10. Extraction task, collect iron grade items X. Bronze grade item X1. Extraction time remaining, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Extraction point will be marked by the system once the extraction task is complete. Warning, death in the dungeon means real death. Proceed with caution. My eyes scanned the info. They finally stopped on abandoned commercial street. I'm very familiar with city environments. I started walking, looking around. There's a weird, nasty smell in the air. I'm standing right in the middle of the street. The shops on both sides are basically just empty shells. Show windows are shattered. Spider webs hang everywhere. There's also dried blood stains. A few old cars are parked crookedly. They're rusted all over. All the tires are flat. The cars are dented everywhere. One even has a huge hole smashed through the middle. Looks like something broke it with force. My eyes quickly scan my surroundings, looking for places to hide, looking for higher ground, and spotting possible danger zones. Time limit 24 hours. The mission is to find 5 iron grade items and 1 bronze grade item. Wandering the streets is pointless and low efficiency. I need to find a place with more resources. My gaze quickly fell on a building at the corner. It's a mall. The outer wall is pretty wrecked. The sign's paint is all faded. But since it's a mall, there must be lots of supplies inside. In this kind of apocalypse, places like this are great, but also very dangerous. After just a moment's thought, I made up my mind. Instead of tiptoeing around, searching in these obviously cleaned out shops, I'd better take a risk. I need the supplies in the mall, need to finish the mission, and need to hurry. There's only 24 hours. Sounds like a lot, but actually it's short, because not only do I need to collect items, I also have to make it to extraction later. Anyone who's gamed knows. Extracting is always the hardest part. I grip my Desert Eagle with one hand, staying low, using the wrecked cars as cover, and silently rush toward the mall entrance. My steps are light, moving quickly and alertly. That's an instinct I've learned from dangerous missions. The mall's glass revolving door is smashed, leaving a pitch-black entrance. I stop in the shadow near the doorway, listening carefully. All I hear is faint wind inside. I don't rush in yet, waiting for my eyes to adjust to the dark. Then I slip inside like a cat. A thicker, musty and rotten smell hits me. The first floor lobby is a mess. The jewelry counter is smashed up. The makeup counter is knocked over. Stuff is spilled everywhere. I keep moving. From my experience, big supermarkets are usually in the basement. That's where the canned food, tools, and packaged foods are, which is what I want. I soon find an escalator going down. It's long stopped moving. A thick layer of dust covers it. Looks like a gray slide. I walk down the escalator. Desert Eagle pointed into the darkness ahead, ready for any ambush. The basement supermarket's metal gate was ripped open with force, all twisted together. Inside the supermarket, it's even messier. Shelves have collapsed. Rotten goods leak black liquid. Torn packaging bags are everywhere. I ignore the spoiled food, focusing on sealed industrial goods, and anything the system might count as iron grade. I head straight through snacks, to the grains and outdoor gear section. Under a fallen shelf, I find a big bag of vacuum-packed rice. Nearby are a few boxes of canned luncheon meat. These won't complete the quest, but they'll keep me alive. I'm about to grab them, when out of the corner of my eye, I spot something dark blue in the corner. It's a hiking backpack. The fabric is thick, looks really sturdy, way better than the bag I made from old clothes. I walk over and pick it up, dusting it off. It's heavy, the straps and back frame are intact. At the same time, a notification pops up in front of me. Iron grade heavy-duty hiking backpack. Effect: huge capacity, rugged material, great weight distribution. Didn't expect to find an iron grade item this fast. I quickly stuff the luncheon meat and some water into the pack. With this bag, I can loot way more efficiently. I keep going, and on a tools aisle shelf, I find a few new wrenches, but the system doesn't react. Guess its standards are high. I'm about to move on, when a metal toolbox under a shelf catches my attention. It's dented in, but the lock is still on. I crouch down and wedge a wrench under the latch, prying it hard. The lid springs open. No tools inside, just a folded blue blueprint. The edge is glowing faint bronze. Congrats, you found a bronze grade. Simple combustion stove module. Simple combustion stove, bronze grade type, shelter facility. Module effect: once installed, your shelter gains basic energy conversion ability. You can burn wood or other materials to supply energy to the shelter, supporting heating and cooking. This is the hardest part of the bronze grade extraction quest. Can't believe I got it this fast. And it's a high-value shelter core module. A blueprint. I'm pretty lucky today. A smile slips onto my face. This means as long as I make it back alive, my cabin gets a new energy core. I can finally make fires and cook. I quickly stash the blueprint away, feeling a lot more at ease. Now I just need 4 more iron grade items.
I pick up the pace.
And in a fire equipment cabinet, found an iron-grade emergency flashlight. In the kitchenware section, I found an unopened iron-grade kitchen knife set. And in a storage room, found an iron-grade first aid kit. Backpack, flashlight, knives, first aid kit. That's 4 iron-grade items. Just need one more. Heavy hiking pack on my back. I returned from B1 to the lobby. Supermarkets picked clean. Gotta check the upper floors. Just then, a scream pierced from the second floor. The voice twisted and cracked, then cut off suddenly, like someone was being strangled. Then came heavy footsteps. The ground was vibrating. Sounded like an elephant running up there. Every step made the mall creak. It was heading straight for the stairs. My body reacted before my brain. With one quick slide, I hid behind a fallen jewelry counter, shrinking deep into the shadows. Heartbeat and breathing slowed. A second later, a man in a blue tracksuit scrambled down the escalator on all fours. His face was deathly pale, glancing back as he ran, like a ghost was at his heels, spotting the broken mall entrance. He sprinted for his life, but a massive shadow was faster. It leaped from the escalator. With a deafening crash, the shadow slammed into the lobby floor. The marble tiles shattered instantly. It was an 8-foot monster. Its body was bloated and grotesque. Skin a sickly grayish green, covered in bulging dark red muscles. Its arms were incredibly thick. Hands turned into razor-like claws, glinting with a cold light. The head was even worse. Mouth full of teeth reaching its ears. Drool dripped onto the floor, sizzling with a hiss, emitting wisps of white smoke. I watched the thing. This was far scarier than a zombie. A muscular mutant. Reminded me of the tank from Left 4 Dead. The monster let out a grunt, powerful leg muscles tensing, massive body like a bolt of lightning. It caught the fleeing man in a flash. The man barely let out a sound before those giant claws tore him right in half. Blood and organs sprayed everywhere, hidden behind the counter. I watched coldly. I wasn't afraid, my mind only analyzing. The monster stuffed the corpse into its maw. The sound of bones crunching and chewing echoed through the silent mall. Done eating, the monster looked up, sniffing at the air. It didn't leave, but with heavy steps. It began pacing the lobby. Right then, a cold voice rang in my head. Dungeon alert, boss activated. Boss name, Tyrant Butcher. First kill tip, kill the dungeon boss to get a special loot chest. 100% chance for bronze materials. And a chance for rare bonus rewards. Feature, dungeon map unlocked. Boss location will be marked live. These 3 people must have been drawn by the scream. And the boss alert, the leader, Wang Hu, immediately saw the center of the lobby, the body torn in two, insides dragged across the floor, and that wide-mouthed, ugly, bloody tyrant butcher. Crap, what is that thing? The thin guy behind him hissed in a low voice, knuckles white on his spear. The other player was pale with fear, legs visibly shaking. Wang Hu's heart sank too. Just seeing the monster stand there, its sheer ferocity was overwhelming. 8 feet tall, bulging with muscle, blood dripping from its claws. Everything about it screamed terror. That size, that raw power, seemed beyond any current player. But his eyes suddenly burned with heat. The system alert echoed in his mind. First kill on the dungeon boss. Gives a special boss chest. 100% bronze materials. Plus a chance for rare rewards. Guaranteed bronze materials. And extra rare loot. The temptation instantly lit his greed. Pushing his fear aside, Wang Hu's safe house was unique.
He started with a blacksmith shop.
Complete with a forge. But he was desperate for materials. And blueprints. 1 piece of bronze material could trigger a massive power jump.
Besides,
He had the shop's starter gear. Black iron plate armor and a steel axe. In these early dungeons, this gear was a total cheat code. Before coming here, Wang Hu relied on this gear to easily slaughter street zombies. He'd found these 2 followers to try their luck at the mall. Don't be a wimp, Wang Hu growled. His voice echoed in the vast hall, encouraging his teammates and pumping himself up. There's 3 of us. No matter how tough, it's a tier 1 boss. Kill it and we're set. This is just the first dungeon. The lowest boss. How strong can it really be? Don't forget my gear.
his words
soon turned the fear in their eyes into pure greed. Right. Higher risk, higher reward. Go big or go home. Their noise grabbed the tyrant butcher's full attention. The monster stopped its search. It slowly turned its head, eyes full of rage and hunger, locked onto the trio at the door. A deafening roar erupted, shaking the empty mall. The butcher's leg muscles swelled, cracking the marble under its feet. Its massive frame became a gray-green blur, charging straight at Wang Hu's team. Step back. I'll handle this, Wang Hu shouted loudly. He raised his huge axe in front of his chest, planted his feet firmly on the ground, poured all his strength into his arms. The axe blade slammed into the monster's claws. Sparks burst out blindingly bright. Wang Hu only felt a massive unstoppable force hit him. His feet left the ground and he was thrown 5 or 6 meters back. He crashed hard into a pillar. The black iron armor on him let out a strained creaking sound. He screamed in pain. His 2 followers turned pale. The brutal butcher wasn't going to let them react. It charged again. Violence exploded as battle broke out instantly. Hidden on the other side, I watched coldly, backpack on my back, moving quietly. I slipped into another smashed-up jewelry store, kept a safer distance in the shadows. Might as well let them test this boss first. I wasn't in a rush to make a move. Instead, I opened up the system menu. Just as I guessed, the world chat on the panel, the area chat and market icons were all grayed out now. Couldn't click them, but at the bottom of the menu, 2 new icons were now lit up, Dungeon Map and Dungeon Channel. I checked the Dungeon Map first. A simple map of the shopping street popped up, crude lines everywhere. At the mall's location, a bright red skull icon was flashing violently. That's where the brutal butcher is. No other players showed up on the map. Only the boss was visible. I next tapped into Dungeon Channel. Dungeon Channel, 9/10 in dungeon. There's a boss here. Guaranteed bronze material drop. Anyone want to go? We can team up. That's a boss, you know? Can we really beat it that easy? Should be fine just going to check. And so what if it's a boss? I've got a black iron long blade. Just took down 2 zombie bosses easy. It can't be that much stronger. It's been hours now. Materials in those shops are way too hard to find. I'm totally sure. This mall has the most supplies. Kill the boss, and everyone can finish their quest. Chat channels updates are coming in fast. More and more people are interested in the boss chest rewards. They're all gathering at the mall. From the looks of it, other shops outside the mall, getting higher grade materials is insanely hard. If that's how it is, then to finish missions, they have to come here alive. I figured it out instantly. Reading these chats, my gaze got colder. It's more complicated than I thought. More people coming means more variables. Sometimes, human greed is scarier than a monster's claws. I need to get ready ahead of time. I took out my wither eagle, swapped out the magazine smoothly. Brass bullets landed in my palm one by one, cold and heavy. Then, from a lighter I grabbed in the supermarket, I carefully removed flint and some cotton wicking. Universal cube? I focused a thought. A holographic cube floated in my palm. I rolled 1 bullet between my fingers, added the flammable material, and dropped it all into a synth slot with my mind. Recipe confirmed. Combining black iron Desert Eagle bullet with flammable material. 30 seconds to synthesize. This was me testing something. Earlier, I found out I could remove bullets from the Desert Eagle, all as separate parts. So, I'm trying to make a new kind of bullet. Also, when the magazine is empty, will it still trigger reload effects? If it works, then bullet limits for me don't count as limits if I plan ahead. As long as I'm ready, after 30 seconds, a brand new bullet sat quietly in the synth slot. Its tip wasn't yellow anymore, but a clear casing looked like there was fuel inside. Synthesis success. Black iron incendiary round gained. Effect. Explodes on hitting a target, dealing fire damage in an area. Glass shards spray out, causing bleeding to unarmored targets. I smirked, started mass producing right away. 1, 2, 3 every bullet in the mag was turned into one of these deadly works of art. 3.5 minutes later, 7 brand new incendiary bombs just finished. Just like I expected. My magazine got 3 new bullets again. After finishing all this, I looked toward the mall lobby. The fight there had reached its peak. A sharp, twisted scream. The guy with just the fire axe couldn't dodge in time. He got slashed on the arm by the butcher's vicious claws. That arm was sliced like cheese through a high-speed cutter, instantly tore off from the shoulder. Blood gushed as it flew through the air. Jiang Wei and Wang Hu's eyes went red. His armor was battered and dented. There was even a clear palm print on his chest. Multiple dents split open. This boss's strength and defense were beyond anything he imagined.
He swung his axe with everything he had at the boss.
Only left a wound a few centimeters deep, but it was useless. The boss acted like nothing happened. And just a single swipe from the boss, his black iron armor tore like paper. Their offense and defense were totally mismatched. Tiger bro, we can't hold out anymore. Let's retreat. The last skinny guy's voice shook. Hang on a bit longer. He definitely can't last either. Wang Hu clenched his teeth, still resisting. The butcher didn't care at all. He opened his bloody mouth wide, roared fiercely again, then charged straight at Jiang Wei. Jiang Wei and Wang Hu's eyes nearly burst. Wanted to rush and save him. But he himself was too injured to help. Just had to watch helplessly. Those bloody claws ripped Jiang Wei apart. Blood sprayed everywhere. Chunks of meat and organs scattered all over. The butcher's crimson eyes turned toward the tall, skinny guy. At that moment, 3 more people entered through the mall doors. As soon as they walked in, they were stunned at the scene ahead. Heavy stench of blood and organs hit them right in the face. One of them couldn't help but retch. A burly man in black iron armor. His armor was badly warped, pinned to the floor by a huge grayish-blue monster. The monster's claws easily carved deep gashes into the metal armor, making ear-piercing screeches. Not far away lay 2 bodies. Organs and meat smeared the marble floor. Help me. Wang Hu, crushed by the monster, veins bulging, turned his head with effort. Saw the 3 people by the door, his eyes full of desperate hope. But the 3 at the door shook badly, frozen in place, not moving at all. Faces filled with terror. So that's the boss. That's not what they expected from "Fortune favors the bold" in their chat. It's a whole different thing. They thought no matter how tough, it was just data. And if enough people team up, the monster would fall eventually. But this scene was no battle. It was a one-sided slaughter. Damn, run! One of the smaller men snapped out of the panic first.
His lips trembled.
Turned to run. Wait. The tall leader grabbed his shoulder. He looked scared too, but more greedy. Look at that monster. He's covered in wounds too. With that reminder, the other 2 held back their nausea, took a closer look. Sure enough, that monster called Butcher is tough, but he's also full of bone-deep wounds. Grayish-blue blood still dripping from his chest and back. Wang Hu and his buddies fought like crazy, and really injured the monster a lot. Maybe he's almost done. Maybe just a bit more is needed. They might really kill him. Once that thought hit, their greed boiled up. Fortune favors the bold. There are 3 of us. That thing only has 1 left. And it's dying. We have a shot. The tall man lowered his voice, but started breathing heavy, eyes filled with madness. Plus, we're armed too. What's there to be scared of? Wang Hu saw their changing faces by the door, instantly guessed what they were thinking. Waiting to pick up the leftovers. Want to jump in after I'm torn apart. Keep dreaming. Butcher got pissed at Wang Hu's struggling, let out a roar, raised his gleaming claws, about to smash Wang Hu's head. Right then, a flash of determination in Wang Hu's eyes. He used all his strength and rolled hard, and somehow escaped through the monster's claws. He scrambled and ran toward the 3 at the door, yelled, "You sons of bitches, you're just gonna watch me die? If I die, I'll drag you down too." The 3 guys at the door's faces changed. They didn't expect Wang Hu to pull that. Butcher lost his target. His red eyes turned, locked onto the escaping Wang Hu, and the 3 fresh prey behind him. His huge body became a gray-blue blur, chasing in a rush with a foul wind. The tall guy cursed it out loud. No more thought of picking up scraps. Only one word: run. He bolted away. The other 2 were scared out of their minds, chased after him deeper into the mall. The direction they ran was right toward my hiding spot, the jewelry store. I coldly watched this mess unfold, thinking about when to act, but I didn't expect This bunch of idiots would drag trouble right to me. Looking for death, I thought coldly inside. I crouched in the shadows of the jewelry shop, behind the glass counter. It's too late to escape now. They're rushing over with the boss. The three players ran over in a panic. One of them slipped, lost balance, slammed into the counter where I was hiding. The loud crash sounded extra sharp in the quiet corner. My position was instantly exposed to everyone. The three escaping players froze, faces pale. They never expected someone else was hiding here. But after only a second, one of them showed a ruthless look. He ran right past me, grabbed a wooden plank from the floor, and threw it at me. The other two quickly followed. I dodged several planks myself, but all three were already far away. And in front of me, the butcher was right there. "Sorry, man." A mocking voice came from where the three were fleeing. My expression didn't change, but inside, I'd given up on those three. The butcher chasing us roared, his crimson eyes locked on me, standing up from the shadows. Wang Hu caught sight of me and paused, then twisted a smile at the corner of his mouth. He also wanted to use the moment when I distracted the boss to slip away from the side. But the savage butcher didn't even glance at his new prey. On his hate list, the one who dealt him the most damage, Wang Hu, had to die first. The monster's muscles bulged. The marble floor beneath him cracked loudly, his massive body charged with unstoppable force. He crossed the distance in a flash, pouncing on Wang Hu, who just tried to run. Wang Hu only had time to let out a roar. The monster's claws the next second went straight through his chest. Blood spurted out like a fountain. The savage butcher opened his huge mouth, bit down and snapped Wang Hu's neck. There was a loud cracking sound. Then he tossed his body aside. He slowly turned around, his blood-red eyes locked onto me. In his mind, I was the next meal. Those three who set me up were now already hiding in a distant shop. They stared at the hellish scene before them, almost forgetting how to breathe. Wang Hu, dressed in black iron armor, who they thought was strong, just got killed like a toy. Li Wen looked at all this, his voice trembling nonstop. He turned to the leader, Zhang Tong. "Zhang Tong, are we really going to fight this monster? Is he really someone we can take on?" As soon as he said that, the chubby guy, Li Yong, also looked at Zhang Tong. Zhang Tong was trembling too, but his eyes turned fierce. "What are you scared of? We agreed to this before we came. Besides, it's not like we're unarmed. Let that guy hold him off first for us. When he draws the monster's attention, we go in." Li Wen and Li Yong exchanged a look. In the end, greed won over fear. They remembered the weapons they'd found in a store earlier. They nodded hard. Over here, the savage butcher moved. This time, he didn't charge like before. He walked forward, step by heavy step, closing in on me. With every step he took, the ground seemed to tremble beneath him. He'd just killed several people, covering himself in blood. He carried a terrifying pressure with every move. I slowly raised my right hand, holding that strangely shaped, withered wood deagle at the monster. The three players saw this, their eyes flashing with shock. "A pistol? You've got to be kidding. He has a gun." But what happened next? They would never forget. A sharp crack echoed in the hall. A bullet tore through the air, striking the tyrant butcher's right eye. The monster's eyeball exploded. Foul green fluid and flesh sprayed out. Agony made the butcher howl in pain. He swung his claws wildly, his massive body recoiling. Before he could steady himself, bang, another shot. The bullet spiraled, drilling into his other good eye. Totally blinded, the tyrant butcher went berserk, like a raging bull.
He lashed out his claws randomly,
charging where I used to be. The rushing wind stung my cheeks, but I had already moved. Each shift was smooth and precise, effortlessly dodging every attack, while my deagle kept barking. Each round trailed orange fire, burying itself into the butcher, into the wounds Wang Hu had cut. The bullets exploded on impact. Bursts of flame ignited, charring the edges of his flesh, hissing with the stench of burnt meat. Worse yet, glass shards sprayed from the blast, piercing deep into the mangled wounds, causing constant agonizing pain. The butcher's movements slowed, his roars turning into weak whimpers. The three vultures waiting for a chance were completely dumbfounded, mouths agape. Not a sound came out. They couldn't believe their eyes. The beast that slaughtered so many, the one that made them tremble, the one they feared to face, was being toyed with by me. Finally, at the seventh shot, a final incendiary round arched, flying straight into the butcher's wide, roaring maw. Next, fire erupted from within him. A muffled boom came from his gut. An orange glow even shone through his charred sockets. The butcher's massive frame stiffened. All movement ceased. He stood frozen for seconds, then crashed to the ground, kicking up clouds of dust. Then his body vanished into light. Immediately after, an announcement rang out to all players. Congrats to player Wan Xiang. Tyrant Butcher successfully slain. Obtained special bronze chest. A chest glowing with bronze light appeared where the corpse was. The mall fell into dead silence. I blew the ghost smoke off the barrel. Expressionless, walking toward the victor's prize. The three watched this insane scene, gulping in unison, exchanging glances, seeing pure shock in each other's eyes. Li Wen stuttered, Should we still do it? Fat Li Yong was just as terrified, thinking of what he did to me. He couldn't stop shaking. Maybe we should just run. He has a gun. We just screwed him over. He's gonna kill us.
Hearing this, Li Wen
Snapped out of it, shouting in panic. Yeah, you're right. Jiang Tong, let's get out of here. Jiang Tong gripped his weapon tight, the shock in his eyes fading, replaced by cold logic. That gun, if he wasn't mistaken, it looked like a desert eagle. Jiang Tong knew this, because back on Earth, he loved visiting shooting ranges. Even if that gun looked a bit weird, he was certain it was a deagle. Realizing this, he grew calmer. If memory served, it fired exactly 7 times. He's probably out of ammo. Jiang Tong eyed the bronze chest, greed resurfacing. He looked at the other two. Scared? He's got a gun. But don't we have range too? Besides, I'm sure that's a deagle. A deagle usually holds 7 rounds, and he just fired his last. I'm almost 100% sure he's empty. Li Wen looked doubtful, but the fear of firearms wouldn't vanish so easily. But boss, what if he has more than 7? Li Yong nodded frantically, clearly agreeing. Jiang Tong sneered. Think about it. If you had a gun and ammo, after someone just betrayed you, wouldn't you have killed them by now? Right, they realized. No way he'd wait. So he must be out. Or he'd have come for us. Jiang Tong grew more certain. That's why. He's just posing, trying to grab the loot and run. In that case, what are we afraid of? Yeah, that makes sense. The chest is right there. He's the one who should be scared. Greed completely took over. Jiang Tong finally raised his weapon from an outdoor shop. A crude hand crossbow, the bolt aimed right at me.
He raised the iron-grade crossbow.
Something they scavenged from a store in the mall. The black bolt glinted coldly, locked onto me as I walked. Jiang Tong took a deep breath. Guesses were just guesses. When it came to firing, he was still nervous. He tried to stay calm. Then he roared, Freeze! His voice cracked from the strain, echoing through the hall, trailing off into a shaky pitch. I stopped, without turning. I just glanced sideways, watching those idiots from the corner of my eye. To me, these 3 were already dead. I planned to loot first, then deal with them. Didn't expect these fools to make the first move. Leave the chest. Then get out and we'll let you live. Jiang Tong barked, hands trembling, trying to take control. Li Wen and Li Yong next to me stared at Jiang Shu, who didn't move at all. Their earlier guess seemed to be true. They started getting bolder. They immediately began to shout and threaten. That's right, did you hear that? Leave your stuff. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Our crossbow bolts don't discriminate. I suddenly laughed. My laugh was soft and full of mockery. I thought these 3 guys were just pathetic. My laughter provoked Jiang Tong. His face instantly turned bright red. What the hell are you laughing at? He roared. He was spitting everywhere. Your gun is out of bullets, isn't it? I was counting every shot you fired. Not more, not less. Exactly 7 shots. I've played with Desert Eagle mags before. Standard is 7 rounds. I suggest you drop that busted pistol too. Otherwise, in the next second, this crossbow bolt I've coated with corpse poison will go right through your head. I turned around. I didn't say a word. I just used my actions to respond to his taunting. I slowly raised my right hand to those three, the Kadumu tactical hawk in my hand, which they thought was empty, suddenly pointed at them again. This simple move made the whole hall tense up. Of course I knew the bullet count. I just used up all 7 incendiary rounds taking out the boss earlier. But the Kadumu tactical hawk is a bronze tier weapon. It has a special effect, auto reload. Right, when the mag empties, it regenerates 1 bullet per minute automatically. I tested it before. Even if you don't use the bullets, just remove them. The effect still works. That's why, while I was making new incendiaries, the Desert Eagle reloaded 3 bullets. With the time wasted after killing the boss, the gun now has 6 rounds. So, taking care of these 3 losers is more than enough. Jiang Tong looked at my raised gun. He froze for a moment. Then his face twisted into an even crazier grin. Still trying to scare me with an empty gun? You think I scare that easily? Guys, he's just betting we won't do anything. Just acting tough. Let's get him together. The treasure chest is ours, he shouted loudly.
His finger clamped down hard on the crossbow trigger.
But Li Wen and Li Yong next to him felt something was off. A bad feeling crept over them. The next second, that feeling came true. A short, dull gunshot rang out. Jiang Tong's body jolted violently. The crossbow in his hand hadn't even fired yet. A precise bullet hole appeared in the center of his forehead. The scorching hot bullet shattered his skull. Blood and brain matter mixed with shattered bones sprayed out from the back of his head. It splattered all over the two of them. His wild grin froze on his face instantly. The light in his eyes faded fast. His whole body stiffly fell backward. His crossbow dropped onto the slick marble floor. It landed with a soft sound. The world suddenly fell silent. Li Wen and Li Yong were totally terrified. Their faces and bodies were covered in blood and white matter. That sprayed out from Jiang Tong after he died. It was even still warm. Their minds went blank. They stood there, frozen, forgetting to breathe. Their eyes nearly bulged out of their sockets. They stared as Jiang Tong's corpse collapsed at their feet. His fresh blood splattered all over them. That iron scent hit their noses. It broke them instantly. A delayed scream finally squeezed out of Li Wen's throat. His legs gave out. He collapsed right to the ground. A foul-smelling liquid quickly spread from his crotch. Don't kill me. Please, I beg you, don't kill me. Fatty Li Yong reacted a bit quicker. With a thud, he fell hard to his knees. He bowed over and over toward me. His forehead started bleeding from smashing it so hard. Both of them cried loudly, tears and snot everywhere. They were a total mess. My face showed no emotion at all. My eyes were cold. From these 3 people, since the moment they chose to use him as bait, their fate was set. I'm not a saint. Bang the second gunshot. Li Yong, who was bowing, suddenly stopped. The back of his head exploded. His big body crashed forward heavily. His face slammed into the bloody pool he'd made. He never moved again. Last was Li Wen.
He stared at another warm corpse beside him.
It completely broke him. He even stopped begging. He just scrambled backward on his hands and feet. He made strange sounds from his mouth, crying, grunting, tears and snot all over his face. I didn't give him more time to be scared. The third shot ended his pathetic life cleanly. The 3 bodies lay neatly not far away. I slowly lowered my Desert Eagle. A faint wisp of smoke still rose from the barrel. The whole hall fell silent again. My gaze returned to that bronze chest. Time to claim my reward as the victor. I walked straight to the center of the hall, where the brutal butcher disappeared into light. A bronze chest floated mid-air. It glowed softly. I reached out my hand. My fingertips touched the chest's cold metal shell. A system prompt appeared in my mind. Do you want to open the special chest? Open bronze, I answered in my mind. A second later, the chest clicked softly. A bright light flashed out. The glow quickly faded. 3 items slowly floated out of the chest. They hovered quietly in front of me. A string of system prompts chimed in my mind. Congratulations. You have opened a special boss chest, bronze. You have received a bronze storage backpack. You have received an otherworldly energy crystal. You have received bronze-level mutant butcher material. My gaze first landed on the ordinary-looking black backpack. I grabbed it. Its stats immediately appeared before me. Name, storage backpack. Grade, bronze. Capacity 3 cubic meters. Effect, built-in space. Stable structure. Can reduce 90% of item weight. 3 cubic meters. My eyes sparkled. Happiness spilled from my eyes. That's basically the size of a closet. This thing for survivors right now is a luxury item. Earlier, just to hide, I stashed my heavy hiking backpack under a store counter. I walked back in the shop, found my stuffed black iron heavy hiking pack, took all the food and the tools I just found, and loaded them into the new storage backpack. The pack looks on the outside, just like an ordinary black backpack. Open the flap on top. The opening is like a black hole. Everything you drop in vanishes instantly. In return, I could clearly feel more things inside the space. The heavy weight on my back disappeared in an instant. I could barely feel the backpack anymore. Then I looked at the 5 crystals floating in the air. Each was about the size of a thumb. They're irregular polyhedrons. Light swirled slowly inside the crystals. They gave off pure energy waves. Name, energy crystal. Grade, Tier 1. Type, general energy. Material info, the main currency in the infinite survival world. Hard currency. Used to speed up magic cube crafting. Power safe house modules. And is the key material for many high-end items. Material. Absorbing them directly can slowly raise your level and activate talents. But the conversion rate is super low. Not recommended. Hard currency, I read those words out loud. Kept it in mind.
That means
Energy crystals are worth way more than basic supplies. In future trades, these will definitely be in demand. I carefully tucked the 5 energy crystals into my storage backpack. The last item was a piece of strange, blue-gray, semi-transparent stem. Name, mutant butcher material. Grade, bronze.
type.
Material info. Removed from a Tier 1 mutant beast. The core biofiber from brutal butcher. Super tough and elastic. Great for flexible armor, high tension bowstrings, or specialty weapon parts. Nice. I knew at a glance. Might not be useful now, but with the magic cube, it'll be priceless later. I stored the material, finished checking the chest rewards. Then I turned to the bodies of Zhang Tong and the others. The bodies were still a bit warm. The blood pools on the ground hadn't dried yet. I knelt down, quickly searched Zhang Tong's body with practiced hands. Found a few compressed biscuits soon enough, half a bottle of water, and the black iron crossbow that once threatened me. The crossbow was roughly made, but its arms were sturdy and shone with cold metal gleam. Just as my fingers touched its icy body, a new system alert sounded in my head. Detected. Player Wang Shang has claimed a 5th black iron grade item. Rookie quest. Abandoned commercial street is complete. Objective 1. Collect black iron items. 5/5. Objective 2. Collect bronze items. Main quest completion. 100%. Evac point has been activated. Please reach the evac point within the time limit. Along with the prompt, a translucent map unfolded before my eyes. It showed an overhead view of the whole instance. At the mall entrance, a green arrow kept flashing. A dotted line went from where I was all the way to that arrow. With a thought, I tapped the green arrow. Evac point, Qingyang Road bus stop. Location, 150 meters east of the mall main entrance. Evac method, walk out safely. Immediate evac. Remaining evac time, 17 hours, 3 minutes, and 21 seconds. The evac point was right outside the mall. I glanced at the timer, still plenty of time. But seeing an evac method displayed meant there were more ways out than just walking. I couldn't help but think of that game I played on Blue Star. That viral, hit survival loot and run game. Delta. I pulled my thoughts back. Didn't move right away. Instead, I kept looting. Stripped Li Wen and Li Yong of everything. These two were broke. Besides a few biscuit packs, nothing valuable. But soon, a surprise appeared. From Li Yong. I found a bulging little bundle. Name, common small material pack. Notes, contains wood. X30, stone. X20, description, a common small materials pack, useful in many places. The material packs were a surprise. Supplies like wood and such actually come from these packs. I used to think I had to chop trees or mine Didn't expect it to be like this, but I quickly realized if it weren't this way, and I had to get them one by one, it would be way too slow and a real pain to carry. Besides, this is a city setting. As long as you don't open the pack, it's just a small parcel, about the size of 2 palms. I put it in my bag. After finishing all that, I slowly stood up. No one else in the entire lobby. It's deathly quiet. The boss is dead. The looters are all corpses now. Now this mall, for me, is an undefended treasure vault. Normal people might leave now to keep what they've gained. But looking at the second floor and that stalled escalator, I have other ideas. The risk is very low now, and the building is full of loot. I close the map interface, and the green arrow vanishes. There's plenty of time left. I can keep searching. Everything here is mine for the taking. But I'm not going up yet. 3 bodies are still unlooted. I recall one was fully geared. Plus, his lackey mentioned he had a special safe house. Wonder what good stuff he has. I walk to the other side in anticipation. Wang Hu's body lies right there. Claws pierced through his chest. His neck was shredded to bits. His black iron plate armor is warped. There's a gaping hole in the chest, with jagged metal edges, caked with dried blood and flesh. I kneel down before him. The thick stench of blood hits me. Just as I go to strip the armor from Wang Hu's corpse, a faint white light suddenly glows, gathering at his chest wound. Within the light, a palm-sized spectral hammer is slowly emerging, glowing with a bronze light. Detected safe house owner Wang Hu is dead. Special safe house module dropping. I stop stripping the armor, so when a safe house owner dies, there's a chance the core module drops? Didn't see that coming. I reach out, touching the floating spectral hammer. Name, upgradable module. Type, safe house workbench. Level, special black iron tier.
Effect.
Deploys a basic workbench in the safe house. Owner can repair, dismantle, and craft. Unlocks basic blueprints. Upgrade, 1000 wood, 500 stone, 100 metal, 1 energy crystal. A workbench module. And it's even upgradable. My eyes light up. I know very well the value of this thing. It's worth more than all previous loot combined. Bags, crystals, and gear only improve the individual. But this workbench is a functional safe house module. It represents productivity. With it, I can repair gear, or even craft tools and weapons. I won't rely solely on the myriad cube. More importantly, the cube has limited slots. Crafting high-tier items takes time. The workbench can handle all those tedious low-level tasks. It frees up the cube slots for more important things. The most critical part is it's an upgradable module. Don't mind its current black iron tier, as long as I have materials. Bronze or silver is no problem. You see, most modules can't be upgraded. That's exactly why this special upgradable module is so valuable. And on the flip side, this makes me realize one thing. If the news gets out that owners drop special modules, then safe house owners will become prime targets for everyone. I stash it away immediately. Back to work, using my shovel. I pry open Wang Hu's armor buckles, stashing the broken guards in my bag. Broken black iron plate armor, durability 17, 100, good for synthesis. And that black iron steel axe nearby. It's in perfect condition. Melee weapons are always useful for fusion. As for his 2 lackeys, I give them a glance. After a quick search, nothing but 2 broke guys. I stand up. The first floor is still dead quiet. 7 bodies are scattered around. I look at the second floor escalator. 17 hours remaining. Leaving now would be a huge haul, but I choose to maximize profit. Dangers are cleared. Now it's just a floor full of loot. I don't rush upstairs, but start a sweep of the first floor. Experience tells me a systematic search is more efficient than wandering. First stop, brand sports store. I skip the normal clothes and hats, eyeing the functional gear area. Among the hiking shoes, a pair of plain black high tops glows with a faint light, meaning it's not a common item. Name, hiker's boots, grade, black iron. Effect, slightly boosts move speed. Reduces stamina drain from long treks. I ditch my sneakers and put on these black iron boots around the ankles. The fit is perfect. My steps feel much lighter. Next, in the accessories area, I find a multi-tool. Name, Artisan Multi-Tool. Grade, black iron. Not very useful for me, but it's still a black iron item. The digital store next door. Most gear is just junk metal. In a corner counter, I find a glowing high-capacity power bank. Name, Long Life Mobile Power. Grade, black iron. Effect, temporary. Power source. Provides energy of 3 Tier 1 crystals. This is a decent find. I keep looting. Jewelry, makeup, and luxury stores. I ignore them all. An hour later, most stores are cleared. Besides those first 3 items, nothing else at Black Iron Tier. I stop at the end of the hall. A massive outdoor gear store. Glass doors locked from the inside. I take 2 steps back, powering through my hiker's boots. I kick hard at the door seam. The glass shatters instantly, turning into a floor of shiny grains. I step inside. The store smells like plastic and rubber. Shelves are full of jackets and packs. Poles, axes, and shovels line the floor. It's a tailor-made vault for survivors. In the knife display case, I find a machete. Name, Jungle Machete. Grade, black iron. That's the 4th item. I head deeper into the store, passing the shelves. It's the warehouse and break room. Many unopened crates are stacked here. I pry a few open, mostly tents and pads. As I prepare to leave, I suddenly pause. Behind some junk boxes, a steel gray box that looks totally out of place catches my eye. A safe, half a meter high, perfectly square, thick steel plate casing. The door has a mechanical lock, a dial, and a keyhole.
I walk up.
And kneel down. Fingers brush the cold metal shell. Detected, special locked container. Heavy safe. Grade, unknown. Status, dual locked by code and key. Likely contains valuables. Forcing it might damage the contents. The words unknown level made me hold my breath for a second. In the infinite survival world, unknown usually means 2 things. 1. Is a level way above what players currently know? The other means an extremely rare artifact. Either way, it means a huge opportunity. I tried to open the Universal Cube's crafting panel. The target item has special rules. Can't be used as a material for crafting directly. Just as I thought. I stood up and walked around the safe. The safe's body fits perfectly. No flaws at all. Breaking it open by force. The system warns the items inside might get damaged. That'd be the worst option. So I need to find some clues. The code or the key? My eyes slowly moved to the tightly shut door nearby. There's a sign on the door, manager's office. I headed straight over. The door's made of plain wood. The lock's intact. I raise my foot. The toe of my hiker's boots lands perfectly on the lock. A big bang. Wood splinters flying everywhere. The whole lock, plus a small chunk of door frame, gets kicked out. The door swings open inward. I push the door and enter. A strong stench of rot hits me. The smell is overwhelming. The manager's office is small and simply furnished. A desk. A big office chair. Next to a flipped-over file cabinet. Papers are scattered everywhere. The smell comes from behind the desk. Someone slumped over the desktop. Their upper body soaked in dried, dark purple blood. There's a fist-sized hole in their back. Burst out toward the window. Looks like they were killed from behind. Looking at the body, I'm surprised for the first time. There's someone else in this instance. That thought just popped up, but I quickly suppress it. Something feels off. It's pretty obvious. The body's badly bloated and decomposed. They've been dead for more than a day or 2. That means this body was already here in the instance. After all, we survivors just entered the instance today. My gaze lingers on the corpse for a bit, deep in thought, but I soon let it go. Whatever the case, my goal is clear right now. Keys and passcode. I walk behind the desk and start searching the stiff, bloated body. The rotting, sticky clothes feel gross, but I don't hesitate at all. Soon, from around the bulging neck, I yank off a lanyard. At the end of the lanyard is a brass safe key. Got the key. I scan the whole room, looking for the next clue. The overturned file cabinet. Scattered papers. A painting in the corner. My eyes finally land on the desk. A blacked-out computer monitor. And stuck to its black frame, a yellow sticky note, damp and curling. Scrawled in black ink, a string of numbers. 147,258. Just as I'm about to leave, a faint white light appears, catching my attention. I give a faint snort and look back. The black screen phone next to the corpse suddenly lights up. I pick it up, tap to turn it on. Surprisingly, this phone still works. It's stuck on a chat screen right now. The sender's name is Su Qing. The text is short, but there's a lot of info. There's a new virus outbreak in Sen City. It's already too late to stop it. I'm safe at the lab. Find a place to hide. Quick. Don't go outside. But Su Qing's father, the manager of this office, never replied. Looks like the message came too late. Sen City virus. Thinking of the butcher's terrifying look, it's not hard to guess. This city must be Sen City. And the virus?
It's basically a zombie virus.
Looks like this instance isn't simple. I pull myself together and put the phone down. I've tried taking this phone before, but it's not leaving, so I glance at it again. Then head back to the warehouse. I get to the iron gray heavy safe. I crouch down and stick the brass key in the keyhole. 50 meters of range easily covers the whole safe house. This thing is way more valuable than my deadwood.
Tactical Desert Eagle.
I still remember. There's a place called Purgatory Battlegrounds. I stash it in my inventory backpack. Then look at the second flash of light. As it fades away, a fancy white porcelain toilet model appears before me. Module, restroom type, safe house facility. Module, life level black iron, effect. Can deploy a toilet inside the safe house. Has full purification and sewage functions, keeping the safe house clean. I show no emotion, but I know how valuable this is.
It looks ordinary.
But in the apocalypse, solving sanitation problems means getting rid of a huge source of infection and disease. A true shelter you can survive in long term needs both living and defense facilities. That's the basics of survival. I put this thing away too.
Last.
My attention is all on the center of the safe, the brightest item among the lights. I get a strong feeling. This is my biggest haul this time. I reach out, fingertips touching that light. The light bursts open, turning into a rush of information in my mind. Congrats, Player Universal, you got a special item. Level 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint. A glowing piece of parchment sits quietly in my hand, just sitting there in my palm. There are silver blueprints of a big building drawn on it, way bigger than my current cabin. The structure's also much sturdier. Name: Level 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint. Type: Special Blueprint. Rank: Bronze.
Effect.
After using, you'll upgrade your Level 1 Safe House, Universal Cabin, to Level 2. Upgrade requires Wood 0600, Stone 0300, Metal 0200, Tier 1 Energy Crystal 00. Upgrade effect: Safe house area expanded. Defense hugely boosted, more modules allowed. Unlocks more special features. Level 2 Safe House. My gaze suddenly sharpens. The Tower Sword module just gave me teeth to defend myself. And this blueprint puts me a whole level ahead of everyone else. Safe House level is the absolute foundation for survival here. Level 1 is just the start. A beginner's shelter to keep you alive. Only by upgrading non-stop. Only then can I handle even more dangerous challenges ahead.
Now,
I've got my ticket to the next level, even though there are lots of upgrade materials, especially the 200 units of metal. I have the Universal Magic Cube. As long as I have enough basic materials, making high-level materials is just a matter of time for me. I put away the blueprint and looked toward the second floor of the mall. There are still the second and third floors left to search. Meanwhile, in this instance, besides me, the last person left is Zhao Gang. Right now, he's standing outside a special shop, a pharmacy that somehow doesn't even have a name on the dungeon map. Searching the second floor is way faster than the first. Most stores have already been looted. Nothing worth taking anymore. In a warehouse of a sports brand store, I found the second medium materials pack, which has 200 units of wood, 150 units of stone, and 30 units of metal. On top of that, I also found 2 black iron items. One is a windproof black iron jacket for cold weather. The other can help swing a little faster, a black iron baseball bat. I stuffed everything into my backpack, then glanced at the escalator to the 3rd floor. There's nothing else worth looking for on this floor. I head toward the escalator, getting ready to check out the 3rd floor. At the same time, out on the street a few hundred meters from the mall, right at the edge of the dungeon, Zhao Gang carefully peeks around the corner, hugging the wall, staring at that plain-looking pharmacy on the corner.
His breathing is a bit quick.
And his heart is racing. Just a little while ago, the number of survivors in this dungeon dropped from 10 down to 2. One after another, they're dead. The dungeon started with 10 people, but now only 2 are left. 10 contestants.
And now,
It's just him and that guy called Universal. Cold sweat breaks out on Zhao Gang's back. Luckily, he was careful enough and didn't get blinded by the so-called boss chest in the mall. That place was bad news from the start. And, as it turns out, his choice was the right one. Besides himself now, only one survivor remains. Though the mole was cleared, he's no fool. Wan Xiang is still there to survive that meat grinder and even kill the boss.
He's clearly no pushover.
he won't risk going to the mall.
Zhao Gang focused back on the pharmacy. This shop is weird. He started out looting for a quest and staying clear of the mall, searching the edge of the street. Zombies occasionally roamed the street. He crept along cautiously, then found this strange shop. On the dungeon map, every shop is labeled, except for Sencheng Pharmacy.
It's blank.
A building not on the map. In a dungeon. That usually means one thing. Hidden areas have good loot. Zhao Gang took a breath, checked for zombies again, then crouched and crossed the street. He reached the pharmacy door. A closed sign hung on the glass. The lock was intact.
He pulled a wire from his bag.
He'd found it along the way. It was just a plain wire, but useful in his hands. He fiddled with the lock for a bit, then heard a soft click. The lock was picked. Zhao Gang cracked the door, listening for a moment. No sound. So he slipped inside and shut the door tight. The pharmacy was a mess. Meds were scattered everywhere, and shelves were overturned. In the air hung a dusty medicinal smell. It looked scavenged already. Zhao Gang didn't care. It only confirmed his theory. Plain shops aren't hidden on maps. He searched every corner, under tables, shelves, and ceilings. Behind a fallen cabinet, he found something odd. The wall color was slightly off. He stepped forward, reached out and knocked. Thump, thump. It's hollow. Zhao Gang's eyes lit up. He felt along the wall. Soon at the edge, he felt a small groove. He pulled hard, and with a faint scrape, the wall slid inward, revealing a dark passage. A foul stench rushed out, stronger than before, mixed with blood and rot. Zhao Gang winced. This dark tunnel looks dangerous, but no risk, no reward. A place hidden like this must have valuable loot. He hesitated for a second, then gritted his teeth. From his bag, he took a spiked iron club, weapon in one hand, flashlight in the other. He stepped into the dark. The passage wasn't long, maybe 10 meters. A heavy iron door was at the end. It wasn't locked, just slightly ajar. Zhao Gang leaned against the door. He heard nothing. He slowly pushed it open. Behind was a larger room, like a basement storage, or maybe a lab. Around the room were big steel cabinets. A lab bench sat in the center, with glass containers and weird instruments. Just then, a raspy wheezing came from the corner. Zhao Gang's hair stood up.
He snapped his light toward it.
In the corner, a figure in a lab coat stood away, twitching unnaturally. It slowly turned around. It was a twisted face, its skin a pale gray. One eye had rotted away, leaving a dark socket.
The other eye?
Was bloodshot and very cloudy. A zombie, but unlike the slow ones outside, it was totally different. The zombie saw the light and growled at Zhao Gang. On all fours, it lunged like a beast. It was fast. Zhao Gang's pupils shrank
He instinctively raised his bat.
and swung.
Thud!
The bat slammed its shoulder, but it barely slowed down. This guy is strong. Before he could react, it was on him, opening its foul mouth to bite his neck. Just in time, Zhao Gang leaned back and rolled away, narrowly avoiding it. He scrambled up, heart pounding. This thing is too fast. He can't handle this. Just then, the zombie adjusted to lunge again. No, the passage is too narrow. He can't escape. He had to fight. Zhao Gang's eyes went cold. Seeing it lunge, he stepped forward, dodging aside, barely missing the claws. Using all his strength, He stabbed the bat into its eye. The bat sank halfway in. The zombie froze, let out a scream, and thrashed wildly. Zhao Gang held on tight. He shoved the bat, using all his weight, pinning it to the wall. Die, just die, he roared, veins popping in his arms, driving the bat deeper. Finally, the zombie went limp. Its head slumped, and it stopped moving. Zhao Gang let go. Totally exhausted, he collapsed, gasping for air. After a while, he caught his breath. He looked at the body, still shaken. This must be a special zombie. He stood up, went to the body, and started looting. Soon, from the torn lab coat, he found a hard card. The card was white, with a small photo. The man wore glasses, looking studious, how it looked before. Below the photo was a line of text. Sen Cheng, researcher Li Zhuan, 3rd Institute. Sen Cheng Research Institute. Zhao Gang was stunned. He remembered the system prompt before the instance started. Isn't this instance just an abandoned shopping street? But looking at this pharmacy that isn't on the map, and this secret basement, and the zombie that's clearly a mutated researcher, an idea popped into his head. This pharmacy is just a cover. It's actually an entrance to the research institute. It might even be part of the institute itself. This is huge. What a chance to get rich. Zhao Gang's heart started pounding again. His eyes sparkled. His breathing quickened. He immediately started searching the room carefully. Didn't miss a single corner. He pulled open the stainless steel cabinets one by one. Most of them were empty, or just some broken equipment. He didn't stop, kept searching. Finally, his attention landed on the central lab table. At the bottom of the table, he found a hidden compartment almost flush with the surface. There was no lock on the compartment, just a slot shaped like a card. Zhao Gang pulled out the researcher's staff card right away. He slid it into the slot. A quiet electronic beep sounded. Right after that, the floor in front of him silently split open. A metal platform slowly rose up. In the center was a passageway. The entrance led downward. There were bright white lights inside. Down in that passage, the white lights were almost blinding. It was a sharp contrast to the dim pharmacy above. Zhao Gang swallowed hard. He gulped. That vicious research zombie from earlier still left him rattled. He knew under those blinding lights, there might be something even worse lurking there. But he was already here. A place with this much security and encryption, whatever is inside, must be the most valuable thing in the whole instance. This is a chance to change his fate. His breathing grew heavier. Slowly, greed won over reason. If he goes, he can finish the quest, and also find good stuff. If he doesn't go, he'll regret it forever. Zhao Gang gripped his spiked wooden bat tightly. The veins on the back of his hand bulged. He clenched his jaw and stepped into the passageway. The passage wasn't long. It was just a stairway going down. As he stepped off the last stair, the sight before him left his mind blank. He even stopped breathing. This wasn't a storage room at all. It was a real underground lab. The room was surprisingly spacious. Walls and floor were made of some kind of cold, metallic material, smooth as a mirror, spotless. All around were complex devices he couldn't even name. A pile of garbled symbols flickered on bluish screens. And right at the center of the lab stood a huge cylindrical glass container. It was at least 5 meters tall. Inside was filled with thick, dark green liquid. Countless tiny bubbles swirled upward. At the very center, a massive figure was bound by dozens of thick tubes. It floated motionless. It was a humanoid monster over 3 meters tall. Its body had an unhealthy pale gray hue, bulging muscles, sharp ridges. Both arms had mutated long ago into 2 giant bone blades over 1.5 meters long. The blade's edge gleamed with a chilling light. But the scariest thing was the huge gaping cavity in its chest. Its heart looked like it had been ripped out, though its eyes were tightly shut. Not moving at all. Just its presence sent a wave of pressure over him that made Zhao Gang's legs go weak instantly. Almost dropped to his knees. His mind could only focus on one word. What the hell is this thing? How could there be such a monster in this dungeon? Is the system joking? His muscles tensed up, and cold sweat soaked his shirt almost instantly. Freezing cold. But as soon as his instinct to run kicked in, he forced it down He noticed the monster didn't move at all. Like a specimen, dead, Zhao Gang's heart was pounding in his chest. But greed eventually won over fear. He forced himself to turn his stiff neck away, moving his gaze and started searching the lab. He realized this hall was only part of it. Behind the monster's container stood a big door, but it was tightly shut and couldn't be opened. Zhao Gang had given up exploring deeper inside the lab and began searching the hall instead, just hoping to find something valuable, at least enough for mission completion. He moved with extreme caution, barely touching the floor, making no sound. Every step he took, the corner of his eye would constantly glance toward the monster in the green container. Soon, a metal experiment table in the center caught his attention. On the table lay an open hardcover notebook. Synth City 3rd Research Institute Affiliated Lab. T-Virus Project Log. Zhao Gang held his breath and moved closer. His eyes scanned the pages quickly. The handwriting started neat, and then grew messier and more frantic, showing that the author was going through mental collapse. T-virus infection is far beyond expected. Regular containment failed. Synth City falling is only a matter of time. All hope pinned on gene optimizers. They can fundamentally reshape human genes. In theory, they perfectly resist T-virus, but the prototype is highly unstable. Failure rate is 99%. Must be used with neurostabilizer. Otherwise, the user's brain will be overwhelmed. They'll mutate into pure killing monsters, 100 times scarier than zombies outside. Stabilizer. I've placed it in the cold storage cabinet nearby. Safe's code is my birthday, 0419. If you found this place, you're probably a lab worker too. If you survive, please tell my family one thing. I have always loved you. Please leave well. Li Zun Liu Zhao Gang didn't care about the words. At the end of the log, he got excited when he saw the gene optimizer part. His breathing instantly grew heavy. His eyes flashed with a powerful light. Gene optimizer, neurostabilizer, definitely good stuff. He suddenly rushed to a small metal cabinet by the table. The words cold storage were printed on its door. He yanked the door open. A wave of icy air gushed out. Deep inside the cabinet, sure enough, lay a syringe filled with clear liquid. He grabbed the syringe in his hand. A system prompt appeared immediately. Name: neurostabilizer, bronze grade. Effect: protects and stabilizes central nerves when using certain gene drugs. Greatly reduces mutation risk. Bronze grade. Zhao Gang was thrilled. A system prompt followed. Mission completion confirmed. Evacuation point unlocked. Zhao Gang quickly spun around and rushed to another unremarkable heavy safe in the corner. Safe. His shaky hands twisted the cold metal lock. 419. Click. A crisp mechanical sound rang out. The safe opened right up. As the thick door slowly swung open, a blue glimmer flashed. In the center of the cabinet, on a velvet base, lay a syringe. The liquid inside was a dreamy shade of blue, like countless broken stars swirling within. Name: Gene Optimizer. Prototype: Silver Grade. Effect: forcefully reshapes your genetic sequence. All stats are greatly improved. Tiny chance to awaken special bloodlines. Warning: this is an unstable prototype drug. Use alone. Risk of gene collapse is 99.9%. Mutates into rampaging monster. Use with neurostabilizer recommended. Mutation risk drops to 10%. Silver grade, it's actually silver grade. Zhao Gang felt the adrenaline surge. This is my leap to the top. He stretched out his hand, fingers trembling, grabbing the blue glowing syringe, just as his fingertips touched the cold glass tube. Warning! Warning! High-risk experimental item has been taken. Security protocol activated. The whole lab was instantly bathed in blood-red light. Piercing, screeching alarms echoed through the underground space. The sound was so sharp it nearly pierced his ears. This drastic turn nearly scared Zhao Gang out of his wits. His eyes instinctively darted to the big green container. The once calm green liquid started violently boiling. Bubbles erupted everywhere. Gurgling sounds. The 3-meter monster floating in the center. Those tightly shut eyes. The eyelids seemed to twitch slightly. Meanwhile, on the 3rd floor of the mall, I had just stuffed a black iron-grade RC car into my already bulging backpack. The RC car is pretty decent. It comes with a tiny camera. It's a useful scouting tool. Pickings on the third floor were slim, mostly clothes and daily necessities. Not too much of value. My storage backpack was almost full of wood, stone, metal, food, water, plus over a dozen black iron items. And most importantly, level 2 safe house, blueprints and a workshop module. This run through the dungeon was far more successful than I expected. With the time left, there was no need to risk searching in random corners for tiny uncertain gains. Time to evacuate. Just as I turned around, about to head to the exit point outside the first floor door, a loud piercing alarm faintly came from the distance. It was coming from far away, muffled by layers of buildings, but you could still tell it was a very special alarm. I stopped in my tracks and listened closely to where the alarm came from. It seemed to be on the right side of the mall. Down the street, there was an alarm. That means some hidden mechanism was triggered there. Maybe a trap. Looks like the last survivor found an amazing spot. Go check it out. That thought stayed in my mind for only a moment. Then I killed it completely. As a top mercenary, my #1 rule is never let curiosity put yourself in unpredictable danger. I've gone above and beyond my mission. The resources in my backpack are enough for me to boost the safe house to a whole new level. If I head into that mess now, the payoff is unknown. It's extremely risky. I don't know anything about the situation yet. Is it danger or a chance? It's all unknown. There's really no need to go. I'm not hesitating at all anymore. I turn and start walking, heading toward the first floor. I start walking to the Qingyang Road bus stop. I don't want to waste time about to leave. At the spot where the alarm went off, Zhao Gang is rushing straight this way for his life. Qingyang Road bus stop. This is the only extraction point marked on the map. When I got there, all I saw was a total mess. A bus flipped over on the ground, burned down to a charred skeleton, broken glass and metal everywhere. The advertising sign at the stop knocked over, lying crooked. There's a burnt acrid smell in the air, mixed with a stench that makes you want to puke. That's the extraction point. But there are 2 zombies wandering around the station. They look just like the ones from movies. They're aimlessly wandering, staggering next to the bus stop, occasionally making weird sounds. I don't make any unnecessary moves. I step out from the shadows by the street. My footsteps are light, not making a sound. I don't take out the Desert Eagle, since using a gun would make noise and could attract more zombies. So, instead, I'm holding the black iron-grade jungle machete I found at the outdoor shop. Its blade glints with a dull shine. I head towards the closer zombie first. That zombie seems to catch my scent, slowly turning its head, but my knife is already there. Squelch. The machete chops right through its rotting neck. A decayed head drops to the ground. Almost at the same time, I lower my center of gravity and kick off hard with my right foot. I launch myself forward in a flash. The other zombie just turned around, and I'm already at its side. Knife swings down at the exact same spot, quick and clean. A second head flies off. The whole move is seamless. It all took less than 3 seconds. 2 headless bodies collapse. From one of them, a faint white glow rises slowly. I walk over, reach out and touch it. Got level 1 energy crystal by 1. Not bad. I pack away the crystal and head straight into the bus stop. System panel pops up in front of my eyes. You've reached the extraction point. Scan complete. Extraction mission detected. Proceed with extraction? Yes, I say in my heart. The next second, the prompt sounds. Evacuation countdown, 198. If you take any damage during extraction, the extraction process will be forced to pause for 10 seconds. I quietly stand at the bus stop, already planning what to do once I'm back at the safe house. This run gave me a ton of loot. First thing when I'm back, upgrade the safe house to level 2. Then build all the upgradable modules workbench, basic defense tower, and a restroom. That way, the safe house will get a huge boost in defense, production, and living standards. Big improvements all around, especially that workbench. With it I can keep making stuff. That's the real key to growth. I've still got some wood, stone, and metal in my pack, but not quite enough to upgrade yet. I'll need to go back and trade in the market to get materials. As for those black iron grade items, I'll keep a couple for myself and dump the rest into the infinite cube. see what I can craft. Or maybe trade some too. Evacuation countdown, 76. Just then, a terrifying roar echoes in from far away. It explodes. The sound cuts right through me. My ears ring from the blast. My mind snaps back to reality. The sound came from the direction of the last alarm. Almost at the same time, a blood red system warning suddenly popped up. Warning, hidden dungeon boss giant mutant activated. All survivors stay alert. Defeat the giant mutant to earn a silver tier boss chest. 1. Silver tier. My eyes narrow. A silver tier chest. Must have really valuable stuff inside. That's pretty tempting. But I hesitated just a second and quickly calmed down. Evacuation countdown, 4. Just a few seconds left. Risking everything for an uncertain silver chest, taking on a hidden boss, is way too risky. Not worth it. I'm not much of a gambler. Besides, a silver tier boss chest means this boss's strength is a whole level above the butcher. Even if I tried, I might not even have a shot. The thought just flashed by. I didn't hesitate, didn't even bother looking back. But the next second, a harsh whooshing sound rushed in from far away. I turned my head instinctively. At the end of the street, someone was running, tumbling, scrambling over, desperately sprinting in my direction. Looking as pathetic as it gets, it's Zhao Gang. Zhao Gang's face is full of terror right now, like he's lost his soul. All he can do is run on instinct. Behind him, a massive figure over 3 meters tall is chasing him down even faster. It's a humanoid monster, all gray-white, muscles bulging, looks terrifying. Both arms have turned into massive bone blades over 1 meter long. The blade edges glint coldly. The scariest thing is, there's a big hole in its chest, hollow inside. The giant mutant. It's fast as a blur, closing in on Zhao Gang. Zhao Gang sees me at the bus stop, and the hopeless look in his eyes suddenly sparks with hope. Save me, he screams with everything he's got. His voice cracks. Save my life. I got the silver tier gene.
His words.
Cut off squelch. A gray-white blur slices right through him. The giant mutant's bone blade stabs through his back, piercing right out his chest. Zhao Gang's face freezes.
He lowers his head.
Staring in disbelief at the bone blade poking out of his chest. Dripping blood, guts, and gore. The giant mutant grunts in annoyance. And with a hard swing of that huge bone arm, sends Zhao Gang's body flying. He flies in an arc, smashing hard toward me. Evacuation countdown, 32. My body tenses instantly. I shift my feet. And the next second, Zhao Gang's corpse. It landed hard less than half a meter in front of me. Hot blood splattered all over my pant leg. The body slid a bit across the floor. It finally stopped right next to my feet. Just then, a bluish glow rose from Zhao Gang's corpse. My heart skipped a beat. My eyes locked onto that blue light. Evacuation countdown. After a giant mutant flung Zhao Gang away, its blood-red eyes locked onto the only living person left in the game. He let out a roar. His limbs powered up, and the massive body charged straight at me. That ancient blade that had just pierced Zhao Gang's chest lifted high overhead. It came crashing down toward my head. But at this moment I moved, fast and sharp, right in the last second of the countdown. I suddenly ducked. My right hand shot out, precisely reaching into that bluish light. It felt icy cold. I grabbed whatever was inside. There were 2 injectors. One was filled with clear liquid, the other with bluish liquid. No time to grab anything else. The moment I snatched them, the giant mutant's ancient blade, reeking of blood, was already swinging down in front of me. Evacuation complete. A flash of white light. My body vanished into tiny light particles just 0.1 seconds before the blade hit. I disappeared into countless dots of light. The massive ancient blade slammed heavily into the empty ground. It split open a crack half a meter deep. The white light swallowed everything. The deafening roar and the smell of blood vanished instantly. The world fell into total silence. I was back in his little wooden cabin, barely 10 square meters. Wooden floor under my feet. In my nose. No more rot and fresh blood from the game. Just clean, fresh wood scent. I'm safe now. But I didn't relax. I immediately opened my right hand. 2 icy injectors in my palm. One had clear liquid inside. The other had bluish glowing liquid. They looked eerie in the dim cabin.
Name, gene optimization serum.
First generation prototype. Silver level. Special mutagen type. Effect. Forces a genetic sequence overhaul in the user. Massive boost to all attributes. But as a first-gen prototype, it's extremely unstable. Used alone. 99.9% chance of genetic breakdown, turning the user into an unnameable horror. Note, a desperate attempt born of madness. It's hope, and a one-way ticket to hell.
Name, neural art stabilizer.
Bronze level, support compound. Effect, calms, and stabilizes the user's overactive neural art. When used with gene optimization serum prototype, mutation failure rate drops to 10%. Note, sanity is more precious than strength. Silver level compound. My gaze is steady. Even with the stabilizer, a 10% failure rate is still a deadly gamble for me. I'm betting my life on a tiny chance. But if I succeed, the payoff will be huge. My strength will leap forward. Maybe I can advance. After thinking it through, I calm myself again. I carefully put both serums deep in my storage pack, separated from everything else. Now's not the time to use them. I want total control, not leaving my fate to luck. Just finished sorting my thoughts. System panel pops up again. Lines of pale blue text. Rapidly update. System alerts keep chiming. Level 1 instance. Abandoned commercial street ended. Settlement in progress. Player Wangxiang detected. Successfully brought out these items. Gene optimization serum prototype. Silver level neural bundle stabilizer by 1. Bronze level X1. Level 2 safe house upgrade blueprint. Bronze by 1. Simple burner module bronze by 1. Upgradable worktable module black iron zoni. A whole list of loot scrolled by. And finally stopped. Total, 1 silver item. Bronze items by 4. Special blueprint by 1. Special module by 1. Standard module by 2. Black iron items and materials by 17. Item value assessed. Comprehensive player evaluation in progress. The text paused. Kill assessment. Tier 1. Early zombies by 3. Tier 1 mid-boss. Savage butcher by 1. Grade A. That outcome was expected. I focused on looting, but the next alert raised my brow. Exploration assessment. Found and opened hidden area. Manager safe. Triggered and avoided hidden loot. Huge mutant. Grade. S grade just for finding and dodging. Gave an S just like that. My breath paused for a moment. And sure enough, a new completely different message popped up. Special contribution review. At the last moment of the instance. Brought out from the hidden boss area. Crucial hidden special items. Gene optimization serum prototype and neural bundle stabilizer. Grade, SSS. Comprehensive scoring underway. Progress bar finished. With a notification sound. Big letters lit up in the center of the panel. A bit blinding. Congrats, player Chaos. Your final instance score is SS. SS, theoretical highest rating in the survival system. Since player Chaos achieved the first SS rating in this region. This achievement will be announced to all channels. Start now. There's even an announcement. I was stunned for a second, but quickly stayed calm. Looks like there's no way to refuse. I really don't mind if it goes public. Let's make it public then. Hiding isn't my style anyway. My decision is settled. I silently confirmed. Almost instantly, every player in area 10,086 heard a special alert, and a special message appeared in the region channel. Pinned to the top. Regional channel announcement, congrats to Wangxiang. Cleared the abandoned commercial street in level 1 instance. With outstanding wisdom and unmatched courage. Achieved a perfect SS rating. First player in the region to earn this honor. Special rewards issued. This announcement blew up the channel. Everyone went wild. Damn, am I seeing things? SS rating? System bugged? It's only been a day. Someone cleared the instance in 1 day, and even got SS rating. Wangxiang, holy crap. Which pro did this? I want to follow you. A god, absolute legend. Others risked their lives for a loaf of bread.
He's aiming for god tier scores.
I just crawled out of Star City Commercial Plaza. Barely made it, risking my life. Grade C. Only got a tier 1 instance key as reward. The gap between players is insane. What did the pro do inside the instance? How much did he collect to get this rating? I bet he triggered some hidden condition. Some folks also cleared instances before. Apparently, they rate both kills and loot. 2 categories for assessment? I ignored the channel chaos, focusing only on my own rewards. Detected you earned the first SS rating here. Rewards doubled. SS special reward distribution in progress. Congrats! You have a special reward pick. Choose 2 from 3 rewards below. 3 choices appeared on screen. Choice 1, Tier 2 instance key. Random X1. Choice 2, Tier 1 instance keys. Random X3. Choice 3, Special instance key.
Synth City 3rd Institute X1.
Wangshang's item and special info triggered extra options. Special rewards unlocked. Pick 2 out of 3. I checked each option. My mind raced. Choice 2, 3 Tier 1 keys. Safest pick. Means 3 chances to grab resources. Tier 1 instance is about the size of abandoned commercial street, usually in an instance. Monster strength is about Tier 1.
I say about.
Because the huge mutant earlier was a warning sign. My eyes paused for half a second and skipped that option. Slow and steady growth is basically slow suicide. In this world, you move forward or you fade. Growing too slow is death. I need explosive growth. I need to lead everyone.
Plus.
Low-level items can be combined, so only choices 1 and 3 left. Tier 2 instance is the fastest path to leveling up. Higher challenges, richer rewards. If I clear it, my power will skyrocket again. And option 3, special key Sen City 3rd Institute. My pupils shrank. I got serious for the first time. This option is really special. Based on system hints, seems it's because one found 2 special serums and a hidden area. Manager saw a secret to unlock it, according to what I saw before. Instance seems set in a city called Sen City, where a virus outbreak happened. Like a zombie virus. The zombies and those 2 panthers. Prove it all. Though I don't know why manager didn't turn zombie. But this option shows hidden possibilities. Better resources. More chances. You can tell from those 2 serums. The choice is pretty clear. My eyes locked onto the screen. Thinking hard. Quick calculations. All distractions gone. 3 Tier 1 keys are steady, but pretty standard. For those struggling for basics, it could change their fate. But for me, it's the worst pick. It leads to a slow decline. I need a crushing growth. Leave everyone behind. 3 Tier 1 keys won't do. I looked away from the second option, not even tempted. So what's left is a random key for a Tier 2 instance. Plus a special dungeon called Forest City's 3rd Research Institute. 1 key is for the regular advancement path. The other is a high-risk, high-reward opportunity. Tier 2 dungeons have stronger monsters and harsher environments. But the materials and gear you get are higher quality. And a name like Forest City's 3rd Research Institute is just so tempting.
The gene optimization serum.
Neural stabilizer giant mutant. All these clues point right to the center of the virus outbreak. There is bound to be special loot you can't get from normal instances. Most people might hesitate, weighing the risks and rewards. But I think differently. My rule is to turn every possible edge into my own power. Only by getting stronger each step can I keep going. We're all in this so-called survival world now. And judging by how the system forces people into dungeons, and even scarier future battlefields ahead, the message is pretty clear. Don't fight, you die. So there's really nothing to pick. I swipe on the virtual panel and tap options 1 and 3 at the same time. I choose 1 and 3. Selection confirmed. Congrats to player Wang Shang for earning rewards. Tier 2 instance. Key, random, X1. Special instance key. Forest City 3rd Research Institute by 1. A flash of light. And 2 very different keys appear right in front of me. One is bronze, with detailed engravings. The number 2 in the middle gives off a sense of pressure. The other is silvery, twisted in shape, almost like a warped number 3. A dim glow moves along its surface. I reach out and grab both keys in my palm. The cold metal chills my hand. I don't look at them much longer. Just put them together with the 2 potions. Deep into the storage backpack. Gene optimization. Serum is a key card for my future. But for now, A 10% failure rate is still risky. I need to lower the risk before I use it. As for how, I've got some ideas in mind. After all that, I could finally relax a bit.
Time to tally up everything I got this round.
I focused my mind into the backpack. An item list appeared in my head. Level 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint. Upgrade Module, Workshop Module, Basic Turret Module. Restroom and Basic Burning Stove Module Blueprints. The infrastructure of the Easy Draw Butcher.
Plus,
Over a dozen black iron quality pieces of gear looted from the mall. Not that great in quality, but there were quite a few. And a big pile of food and water. Enough to last me over half a month. Last are the basic materials. Wood 230, stone 170, metal 30. Even the most basic upgradable workshop module can't be built because I'm short 20 units of metal. But that's not a big deal. I gathered a ton of resources this time. Even if the materials aren't a lot, they can all be traded anyway. Trading market. Right now it's the only place for fast resource exchange. It's only been a day since the mass transmigration, and most players are still scrambling for just a piece of bread or a bottle of clean water. The very basics to survive are like hard currency in the trading market. And building materials like wood, stone, and metal are things everyone really needs too. For gear, black iron is probably the best players can get right now. But I've got the Wangshang Cube, and a synthesis power way beyond anyone else in this era. A whole new plan is taking shape in my mind. What looks useless to me, and only good as crafting material, are actually life-saving gear to other players. That gap in info and understanding is how you make money. I can take all this so-called junk black iron gear, synthesize it with the Wangshang Cube, upgrade it into better gear, then use that equipment to swap for loads of building materials on the market. I might even corner the market on a certain type of gear. Thinking about this, I can't help but smirk. I've already figured out how to rack up a mountain of resources. I checked through all the gear in my pack again. Black iron grade gear, walker's boots, steel axe, damaged plate armor, jungle machete. That's more than enough. This will be my starter. Working capital in the market. No more hesitation. I open up the trading market and get ready to see current prices. The panel opens, and a flood of info surges out. First thing I see is a pinned trade post. Urgent! We'll swap 1 metal for 3 loaves of bread. Or a bottle of water. Panel opens up. Tons of info pops up. First thing I spot is a pinned trade thread. Urgent! We'll swap 1 metal for 3 pieces of bread. Or a bottle of water. Poster's ID is Lone Wolf of the Prairie. Avatar is a burly man with a clenched fist. Thread was posted 10 minutes ago, and already has over a dozen replies below. Bro, I have bread. How do we trade? You entered a dungeon and couldn't even find food? You gotta be messing with me. Dude above doesn't get it. Maybe he ended up in some mine dungeon? Of course he needs food then. Quit guessing, seriously. Anyone want to trade? Come on. Only the first 10 deals are allowed. I stare at the post, thinking, looks like my guess was right. There are all kinds of dungeons. It's not just cities.
This guy?
Drew the mine dungeon. So he collected a bunch of materials, but can't get much else. That's where I'm different. I could get lots of gear and items, but not so many basic materials. Guess we balance each other out. And all the other posts are pretty wild. Please, can anyone spare me some food? If this keeps up, I'm seriously gonna starve. Most of what's left is this sort of thing. Too scared to even try the dungeons. So they're just waiting for their starter supplies to run out, and basically waiting to die. Either way, it all shows what survival's really like for players right now. Making it out alive comes first. After poking around a while, one see the trading market is clearly split in 2 sections. Left side is the wanted section, where players post what they need and what they're willing to trade, then wait for people to respond. Like that post just now. Right side is the trading section, where you can just list your items straight up, set a price, and wait for buyers to purchase directly. System handles the transaction automatically, so no need to talk things through. But there's a 1% fee. I click into the trading section first, and take a look. There are all kinds of goods inside, but the quality really varies. Half bottle of mineral water for sale. Price, 5 wood or 3 stones. Stock, moldy bread by 1. Price, 3 wood. Stock, black iron grade simple eatery. Price, 5 tier 1 energy crystals. I glanced over these items. Most are just basic survival supplies, and some low-level tools. Food and water are way overpriced. A lot of people clearly don't want to enter a dungeon yet, so they just hide in their safe houses and eat through their stash. Makes sense. Even though I've already come out of the dungeon, the truth is everyone has crossed into this world, but only a day has passed. As for that axe priced at 5 tier 1 energy crystals, that's just crazy. Energy crystals are the key material for upgrading to a level 2 safe house, and yet someone is trading them for a broken axe.
Anyway,
It all shows how chaotic the market is and how unequal the info is. And that's my chance. I closed the trading section and switched to the buying section. There are all kinds of posts here, looking to buy clean water. Any price is up for discussion. I'm dying of thirst. I have way too much wood. Want to trade for some stone or metal? Open to negotiation on the rates. I just scrolled past these desperate posts, looking for some useful intel, searching for anything valuable. Soon, a pinned highlighted post caught my eye. Pinned, offering big money for 1 black iron grade or above armor. Needs to have solid defense. Good effect. I have lots of basic materials. Open to price talks. DM me if interested. Poster ID, Mythical Ares. That ID feels bold and confident without trying to hide it. And this buyer's request is super specific. They want top-notch quality, which means they've probably seen black iron gear before, so they know the stats pretty well. The key is they claim to have tons of basic materials. That got me thinking, isn't this the perfect deal I was looking for? Someone with plenty of materials, but desperate to power up a hardcore spender. But I didn't message them right away. Instead, I turned to my storage pack and pulled out the damaged armor I looted from Wang Hu after he died. Damaged plate armor, black iron tier. Durability 15/50ths, damage reduction bonus. When it's above 30 durability, grants 10% immunity to attacks. Not a bad piece, really. But sadly, it's badly damaged. And honestly, it looks pretty beat up. Doesn't look great at all. But that's not an issue for me. I focused my mind. The Myriad Cubes menu pops up in front of me. Still level 1. 2 recipe slots. I place the damaged plate into the first slot. Think for a sec. Decide not to use the black iron items I collected. Instead, I open my material kit. Take out 5 metal pieces. I have 10 units of metal. No hesitation. I toss 10 units of metal ingot into the second slot too. Recipe confirmed. Damaged black iron plate X1 plus metal by 10. Should produce a repaired black iron plate. Start merging? Start merging, I say in my mind. The cube starts spinning. A soft light wraps around both items. Combining takes about 5 minutes. Use 1 energy crystal to speed it up. I can wait 5 minutes, so I choose no. And wait quietly. While I wait, I dig into the trading market more. I'm in desperate need of materials lately. Besides the safe house upgrade and modules, stuff like the workbench, basic towers, the bathroom, all require tons of materials. I need to get enough from this trade to score all the stuff I need and make my first big upgrade for the safe house. 5 minutes fly by. Combined success. The light fades. There's a brand new plate armor sitting there now. It's shining with a cold steel glow. The lines are smooth. It looks powerful. I reach in and pull it out. Sturdy plate armor. Black iron tier. Armor durability 100/100ths. Effect, reinforced. Slightly boosts blunt resistance. After the repair, the effect changed from immunity to reinforced. Hard to say which one is actually better. But now it's got 100 durability. All things considered, I just used 10 units of metal and made a wreck into something brand new. That's the power of the Myriad Cube. All I need is some materials, and I can craft better stuff. Then sell it for double. Next, I pull up the request board. Find Mythic Ares' post. Hit the private chat. No extra chit-chat. Just screenshot the new plate stats. And send it over. Almost instantly after I send the pic, they reply. Crazy fast.
hey, Mythic Ares, bro.
I'll take that plate armor. Name your price. My fingers type on the virtual keyboard. 600 wood, 300 stone, 300 metal. That's my price. Pretty much what I need to upgrade to level 2 safe house. I'm just testing their limit. After I send the message, they stay silent for a whole half minute. Just when I think I've scared them off and consider lowering my price a bit, a new reply pops up. Mythic Ares deal, but I want to test it first.